Welcome to Weekly Digest, where we highlight the works of ministers of government as they push the administration's development agenda. The Ministry of Health will soon introduce a new medicine regulations bill to strengthen the country's food and drug administration.
When we look at our current Food and Drug Administration, if we want to move from where we are now to a level 3 Food and Drug Administration, it would mean that we have to meet about 169 different indicators. And if we want to go to a level 4, it means that we'll have to do even more.
Residents of Oriala and Siparuta along the Quarantine River in Region 6 now have the benefit of a new water ambulance. The $14.5 million ambulance replaces the one destroyed by fire.
This is not, an insignificant investment. It is a major investment that we're making because we understand the needs that you have moving from Oriala and Siparuta to come out here to Skeldon.
To curb the spread of hepatitis B and cardiovascular diseases, the Ministry of Health is developing a number of new guidelines.
We also would have very soon guidelines dealing with Hep B so that you can understand how these things are working and what we should use first, what we should use as second line. We are also in the process right now of finalizing the guidelines for cardiovascular guidelines. We have just completed the draft, and we have that document right now under consultation.
Additionally, an oxygen generation plant has been commissioned at Lethem Regional Hospital, Region 9.
One of the most important ingredients would be to make sure that we have oxygen on site. And prior to us having this plant, it was very difficult to get oxygen in the region, especially in the rainy season. So it could have been a big challenge. And very often when you have rainy season and the roads are impassable, you can have all kinds of difficulty here at the hospital.
20 residents of Region 6 are undergoing a year-long training to become dental assistants. The program by the Ministry of Health was launched last weekend in New Amsterdam.
The health sector, the public health sector, is expanding rapidly. And there are lots of opportunities in almost any field of health that you can think about. In dentistry, in this region alone, over the last 3 years, we've added more chairs than, I would say, the last 5 years.
Residents of Region 9 are eager to obtain government-issued vouchers that cover a range of medical expenses, such as eye examinations, spectacles, and screening for cervical cancer. Minister Anthony was on hand at the Lethem Regional Hospital on Monday to kick off the distribution of the vouchers.
Between the ages of 21 to 65, we want to check people to see whether there are any changes and if you have any signs of cervical cancer. Because if we pick it up early, we'll be able to act on it early and prevent the complications.
Residents of Canefield, East Berbice Quarantine will now benefit from the services of a new health center that was recently commissioned in the community. The establishment of the facility is part of a wider government agenda to provide a world-class healthcare system.
If we're going to do that, then at every level of healthcare, we have to ensure that we put investment into it and that we build good facilities. Not only the facilities, but we must have the people who are going to be running the facilities. We must have the equipment so that when persons come, they can get good treatment.
Works are progressing smoothly on the hospitals being constructed at number 75 Village Quarantine Berbice and Bath Hospital on the west coast of Berbice. The minister recently made site visits to the two locations and updated the media on the works being done there. Both hospitals are to be completed by the end of the year.
They've made some amount of progress, but we still have quite a lot more to complete. Our target date is by the end of the year to be substantially completed and to have this operational early next year.
Government will be investing $50 million more to conduct additional rehabilitation works on the Meadowbank Wharf in Georgetown to enhance the overall aesthetic of the area for fishmongers. Minister of Agriculture Zulfikar Mustafa made the announcement while delivering remarks at the National Fisher Folk Day celebration held at the Eifelt Community Center, Region 3 on Wednesday.
We'll also expend another $50 million to develop that area within the landing site there, where we'll build sheds, we'll put in water, we'll do stands or stall for these fishmongers who are selling there.
37 more families living along Ling Avenue, Georgetown received $350,000 each for home repairs and labor costs through government's Home Improvement Program. The grants were distributed at St. Pius Primary by Minister of Housing and Water, Colin Crowell.
We are pleased to be able to continue this engagement, this exercise. You recall it was a commitment made when Vice President visited your community.
Pupils of St. Pius Primary School in West La Penitence, Georgetown, are now enjoying recreational activities after receiving several playground equipment valued at $500,000. Minister Crowell handed over the equipment to the head teacher of the school.
This is something we have to encourage. We don't want children to be too bogged down on the technology. Yes, it can help because it does help with their thinking and their fast thinking, but you also want activism, encourage them to run. It's okay to play, it's normal to play, it's just we have to manage how children utilize their time. So you give them some playtime, spend some time to study.
50 youths of Latham Region 9 are now set to gain valuable skills through the Men on Mission 2nd Youth Empowerment and Mentorship Program. It was officially launched on Wednesday at the Regional Democratic Council Training Center by Natural Resources Minister Vikram Bharat.
You must stay in school and be educated. That's the first thing. Second thing, you got to be committed, you got to be dedicated, and importantly, you got to be disciplined. Discipline is something that is lacking in our society today.
This has brought us to the end of this edition of Weekly Digest. For these and other government-related stories, do log on to our website at dpi.gov.gy and our social media platforms as well. Goodbye.